Now that we have discovered that we are all astronomical lovers, we loved watching Artemis. We love paying attention to our exploration of space and our understanding of the cosmos. What is the next step? Do we trust NASA's math? My name is Stacy Patrice. Welcome back to my channel. I want to talk to you today a little bit about NASA's math, but I'm going to take it in a different direction. We're going to go on a different course. So NASA's math is responsible for what we understand as an accurate calculation of what is happening astronomically. And we utilize that calculation in so many ways to either prove or debunk what is false from what is real. So then my question to you is, are you utilizing NASA's math in your astrological understanding, in your astrological predictions, your astrological understanding of self? NASA doesn't have to co-sign astrology in order for astrology to co-sign NASA's correct calculations. After all, we're not just studying astronomy. Astrology was never separate from astronomy. It included the accurate understanding, prediction, and calculations of astronomy. It always has until it was separated and turned into a fixed seasonal cycle. Astrology has always connected to astronomy in the sense that whatever is happening with the calculation, we understand to be happening in the sky. However, if you are following tropical or Western astrology, then you are not following NASA's math as it relates to calculation. How ironic. NASA's math indicates that the current positioning is following a trajectory that explicitly places what that math indicates as what is happening in the sky in every moment. Whereas a fixed seasonal date for astrological constellations is an approximate. So this means if you are following sidereal astrology, and particularly Lahiri Ayanamsha, then you are connected to NASA's current math. If you are following tropical astrology and you are utilizing the seasons to know when we change from one astrological constellation to another, then we are borrowing a repeat fixed cycle, but it is not what is happening with the fixed stars in the sky. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that the East honors what NASA knows about astronomy? Because the East has always been connected to astronomy. We don't have to know the astronomy, we don't have to study the astronomy, but when we do, we realize that the connection has been forged originally because it would not be accurate or aligned to use a system of alignment that is not aligned with the truth of the universe, that is not aligned with the truth of how everything is functioning. How can that be a system of support or reflection or alignment or understanding or prediction without that accuracy? And so I want to invite you into a program I created specifically for those of you that find calculation and accuracy and connection to be extremely important. And that program is called To the East. When we look to the East, we begin to understand that the calculations, the ways in which our world is naturally formed and forming, is connected to our witnessing of it, our experience in it. And if you are sensitive Particularly, this kind of reflection tool can be very useful in your own understanding of accurate identity as it relates to the life you came here to live and how you align with living it. It doesn't mean that everything is written out in such explicit black and white. It means that your experience is being colored. In order to bring more understanding to that experience, it is important to pay attention to where your calculation comes from. And your calculation should be the thing that you are studying. It should not be the thing that someone built for convenience, someone built for quick reference, for approximation. That is going to give you and render you a different answer. And so now I want to welcome you to this switching to sidereal self-study program. If you find after this program that sidereal makes absolutely no sense to you, then go ahead and switch back. But now you'll know two sides. It's very different if you think about this in terms of anything that's worth creating, worth having. If you find that someone has told you an untruth or has given you the wrong calculation about something, as is true of all math and science, then it creates a tendency to fracture. There's a part of you that's not going to really fully trust or believe what is being said because it is not accurate. And accuracy is very important as it relates to alignment, whether that is in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, in your car, in your history. Accuracy is very, very important when it comes to alignment because you want to align with accuracy. You don't want to align with a fairy tale or someone's truth that came from an untruth or someone's separation of something that doesn't connect to the origin. You always want to align with the truth. And this is one of those periods where aligning with truth is becoming more and more important as people attempt to root and ground in their own truth, their own identity, the things that empower them, the things that make them understand what their life is about and what mission and role they are on and what they are best primed to do, how they are best primed to function. Believe it or not, a lot of world events, as well as a lot of world leaders, utilize this same math. So, why is it important for you to know the math that's being utilized in your entire environment instead of the math that is wayward from alignment? And this is the reason and the difference. And is the reason that this design came forward from me in the form of this program for you to get it for yourself, for you to go back and get it and know it for yourself. Once you have a skill that you know for yourself and you understand it, you can then utilize it for all of your things, for your matches, your predictions, your personal reflections, your understanding of historical events, your opportunities, your connections and interconnections, your tendencies, your systems and ways of functioning and performing, as well as your connection to what we already understand as the creator in allowing you to have a tool to know that what you already have been told and shown is absolutely true. This is not a replacing of any other systems. This is adding to your systems of support, perhaps in a language that speaks towards your sensitivity and your need and desire to align. It's not going to change the way that you live your life per se, but it may give you information that helps enable you to make that change. To the east, we start April 19th, 2026. If in fact you are seeing this video at a later date, check stacypatrice.com/, to the east so that you can see when our next cycle starts. But for now, this cycle, and it's going to be different every time because the group of people is what makes it different. This particular cycle, we are going to take it to the east, and I'm going to help you to utilize reference of your astrological tropical life, like what you've learned so far, and I'm going to help you relate it to what's happening in sidereal. I'm going to help you know for sure that what it is that you thought was this definition actually makes a bit more sense in this definition. It's just a paradigm shift of changing how we align to what we think versus our alignment and resonance with what we know. and I look forward to seeing you inside. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And also, if you've made it this far in the video, I have a special code for you. If you are purchasing the single to the East payment, use the code Sidereal1, and that will give you a one-time discount, price advantage, as I like to call it, off of your full package. If you utilize code Sidereal2, then that means you are purchasing the payment plan, which takes a bit of a price advantage off of each month of your subscription so that each time you make your payment, they are equal and they include a piece of the discount. All right? I so look forward to seeing you all. Thank you so much for listening. Again, like, share, subscribe, and please comment if you have comments, if you have questions, or if you have testimony, or anything that will help us collectively as we sit here, listen to, and share with each other. And I want you to know that above all things, there are those of us who create in the void for the things that we need and put deep intention, practice, experience, wisdom, knowledge, and love into sharing the things that we know would help each other out. Peace.